fam, that's what they call me. I promise that.
Alright everybody, it's Jesse Leonard here once again. This is going to be part 2 of showing off the Christmas decorations one last time for the year. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check it out. I was showing the outdoor decorations. And here we go with part 2. Now I'm going to start off with the tree of channel 2, of course. The tree and stuff. So I'm going to explain how it's running down. The remote outlet is right there. Voice crack, sorry. Right there. And of course I hooked this other power strip up for, So let's say if the nephew or Peyton can easily plug his devices up to charge it, instead of him have to reach over there to do that. So it's running from this brown extension cord, as you see there. So that's going for the tree, and those other two are going for the Mrs. and Santa Claus, which those are going to need a little bit of work on, because if it's got a lot of run time into them, it makes some, it kind of catches at some spots, which I'll show you in a little bit. But these lights that are hanging up here, we actually used to have 3 snowball lights that were just hanging down, but I think some of them were either dead. One of them I think was completely dead. One of them was half dead, half not. I think the third one had electrical issue, so we got rid of all 3 of those from a few years ago. Also, there's another thing that we normally would put down here, but due to us having a cat, we never have set it up anymore. There was actually a village we would put in this window, or towards the window on the, kind of where the Santa and Mrs. Claus are, but we haven't been putting the village up anymore since we got a cat. I remember our old cat, Puff, which of course she's passed away, unfortunately, but Puff would always mess with that. But now we got Malibu, which I don't even know where she is. Oh yeah, I think she's sleeping in my room in the box. Yes, because Malibu's been sleeping in one of my boxes in my room apparently now, so I can't close my door anymore. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Channel 2. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Did you all just see that? There's like faded lines going across. Anyways, that's all on. And of course, being that this is a pre-lit tree, it's got the flashers. But the pre-lit lights on here are pretty much dead, so we're using add-on lights instead. I think on the pre-lit lights, well, every year, I'll tell you what happened this time around, this year. Most of the pre-lit lights already went dead than last year. So that's why we're using add-on lights. And I'll just, of course, the lights in the window, they're hooked up to the ABC adapter, which is, I'll just show it. The button to make it change different flashers or make it go steady is right here, the button for it, and the ABC adapter is somewhere up in there. But if you leave it on, it will be in the combination mode, which it will in just a moment now. There it goes. It'll change different flashing types. If you don't hit the button when you first turn it on, it will stay in combination mode. So the angel's hooked up. I have the lights in the window hooked up to A. So this is how it is. A is the top, B is middle, C is bottom. So that's how it is. And of course, I think it's somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute. I'm not sure. It changes different flashings. I'll have to count how many seconds. So I think it's like 9 seconds or so. I think it depends on the flasher, the type of flash. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, somewhere around 30 seconds it changes different flashing modes. And you see it's going... Maybe you can count it yourself. I can't think on how many flashing modes there are. I think it's like 5 or 6. I'll just let it cycle through so y'all can see it. I'll get a... You know what? Let's put it to the widest range. Whoa, hello. I should have done that already. And then my microphone, of course, is going to change sound a bit. Every time I use the focus modes, like there's this, being that my phone's a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, it has a triple wide range on my, for the camera. You know what I mean? You could probably get an idea. So there's 3 different zoom modes, focus modes, whatever you want to call it. And there it goes, it just changed. By the way, another thing that's different this year, my mom decided to use a different angel. Normally we would have the purple angel up there, but instead we're using the white one. Okay, I think that was the end of the cycle. I think that was done. It was done cycling it through, but I'm not sure. I think the next one I can tell. I think it has at least 5 or 6 different flashings that it cycles through. But again, it goes in a combination if you turn it on without pressing the button. Because if you hit the button, you can make it flash. You can set it to whatever you want it to flash, or make it stay on steady. But the button on there is actually sticking too. And I think we are getting rid of this tree. We're not sure yet, but it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but you see how it's kind of, the top is kind of leaning this way. Yeah. This tree we had, for those who don't know, we had this tree since after Hurricane Katrina, I believe. Yeah, we had it, right, we got it after Katrina. Okay, I think that was the last of the mode, so I guess I'll go ahead and put it on steady here. See the button, it's not sticking it didn't stick that time, but sometimes, usually it does, and it gets aggravating. But as you see, now it's on steady, because that's normally how we would put it on. I remember one time when my mama wasn't home, this was back before she got the remote outlets, she actually had it on an actual timer, and when she wasn't home, I would actually... And before I got off the bus, I could actually just see her tree flashing away. Or I think sometimes if she was taking a nap, I think she don't realize that it's flashing. But it does, again, this is before we got the remote outlets. It was on an actual timer. And now onto these out here, right here. Now of course they're facing this way and not the other way. They're kind of a bit noisy there, as you see, but once it gets a lot of runtime into it, it will definitely... Let's see if it's catching. Oh, yeah, see, they're both catching. You probably just saw it there. But they make some clunking noises whenever it's got a lot of runtime into them. Yeah, see, they're both catching, but they make clunking noises if it gets a lot of runtime. I think my mom said something about not running these two very long, but I'm not sure. I can't remember now. See their head. I don't know if you can see it, but both of their heads are catching. Being that I think with the video stabilization on my phone, it's not gonna show it. The head's catching. I'll actually go back outside one more time and show you what it looks like from the front. Because it is facing out towards outside the window here. Let's go outside. I know it's hard to see, but let's see. Has some people in the background here. I know it's hard to see because, yeah. What in the wide world? I don't know who that is. Sounds like somebody's on the, never mind, let me not say that. Because I'm trying to keep it family friendly, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But I know it's hard to see, and I apologize, but there you go. Maybe you can see it better. Because that thing in the way, but you get the point. Of course, Mrs. Claus's light is flickering a little bit, but it doesn't flicker once it gets some runtime into it. Let's go back inside now. Another thing we're not using that needs some servicing is this. When you turn it on, I know we didn't get much runtime into it this year, but I'll go ahead and just turn it on here. Let's actually unplug that for a moment. That's actually going to the cordless phone charger, but it's not going to hurt if we unplug it for a little bit. Great. Hang on, let me untangle this real quick. Alright, I got it plugged up here, and I'll show you what the problem with this is, and here's the actual manual for it. This year, there you go, made in China. It's from 1996, Christmas Fantasy. Now, of course, this has a problem. Now, I'll turn on here. Let me get this carpet shampooer out the way. Good grief. Let me get that out the way for a minute. So you see there's two different modes you can do. It's delay mode, it'll play one song and stop and wait a few minutes, or normal mode, it will play and then go straight to the next song. Or the normal will just have a little bit of a pause after the first song and then directly play. But I'm going to turn it on here and show you what the problem is. Air freshener just went off. You hear that? Yeah, you hear that. It definitely needs some servicing. And I don't think, I'll just cycle through the songs here real quick, or I'm going to show you what it looks like in delay mode first. Again, I know I apologize for the extracurricular noises. That's why we never did run it at all in the past couple of years. I mean, one of them's actually catching there. You see it just stops, but then I don't know exactly how long it has a delay for, but I think it's like 5 or so minutes. But I'll just wait and see. That's what the delay mode is. So it plays one song, it stops, and just waits a couple more minutes. I got to see how long it is. So the time of the recording when it stopped was somewhere around 13 minutes. So I'll just wait and see. But in the meantime, while I wait for that, let's turn on channel 3. And as you see there, the remote outlet. This is the indoor nativity or major set that we have. And this cotton right here had some lights that were built in, but we had some electrical problems, so we cut the wires. So the lights on this cotton mat no longer work. We cut the electrical. Might be hard to see. I don't think you can see the lights in there. Yeah, maybe you can. But it don't matter because it had electrical problems, so we cut the wires. And we have, as you see there, light in there. And usually these was the berry lights, you're probably wondering where we got them from. Well, this was from my grandmother or nanny's, because we don't set the Christmas decorations up at our house anymore. So she gave me all her Christmas decorations here. So that's pretty much it. Now, of course, there was somewhere where some Christmas lights. Oh, they're over here because my nieces were over here yesterday. But there you go. I mean, No, my mom somehow, I don't know why she didn't want me hanging them up around here like I did last year. I just hooked them up there and just had some tacks that I had, and I just hang the lights around there. So that's pretty much it for that. Now we gotta see. It might be longer than I thought, and I apologize. It's been 2 minutes already, and I forgot exactly how long the delay is. I know it ain't 2 minutes. Maybe 3 to 5, or maybe 3, 4, 5, who knows. But that extracurricular noise that you hear in that's why we haven't been using that all year. It's been like that for the past couple of years. I wish we can get someone to service it. I can't. I try to service it myself, but it's too complicated. Apparently, I think it said you had to pull all these off, which it's going to be complicated to service it myself. So, I'm wondering if maybe something got heat damage from sitting in the shed all summer. That might have been why it's messed up. Or, I mean, it is kind of old, but it's just needs some servicing, and instead of getting rid of it, maybe it'll work. So, I think it was a 5-minute delay, but I don't remember exactly. We'll just wait and see. Now, of course, this glass light right here, the lights on it are dead, unfortunately. So we're not hooking that up until we replace the lights out of that glass box. Oh. Okay, so what was that, like a 3.5 minute delay? Somewhere like that. And some songs, of course, I think there's 7 different songs on your art. I'm going to flip it back to normal. You get the point how the delay mode is. And, of course, it's going to start the track all over again. But I'll just run it through the whole songs. Like I said, I'll just let it run through the whole thing. It has a couple seconds. Just has a couple second pause, but then it'll go to the next one. Alright, quick edit there. I apologize about that. My older sister had come in for just a moment. Apparently she had to bring some clothes in because her dryer's out. So let's go ahead and finish it off. Now I gotta remember which one I left off on. But I'm gonna... Oh, what? Does this button no longer work? Well, that's unfortunate. The music select no longer works. Oh well, I gotta start it over from the beginning now. Yeah, that's not working anymore. Oops. Don't want to break it. Yeah, I can't make it go to the next track. I apologize. I didn't know that button was no longer working. Oh. It did, but I think it's just... There we go. It's just sticking. I think I was on this one. And of course, I thought that button was broken for a second. I believe that was the last one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was. Okay, for bonus purposes, I'm going to stop it when it gets to the third track. Well, yeah, because my older sister came in. Might have been the fourth track, actually. I can't remember when my older sister walked in. You're probably wondering why I walked in there, because of the Christmas clocks. I'll show that after this. Alright, and of course I heard that Christmas clock go off in the background, so I got late on showing it, which I apologize for. It just went off there, I know. This one actually has a problem sometimes to where the second hand gets locked up. So I'm probably gonna try to at least maybe clean the contacts on where the batteries are before we put them up. So that's one of them. The other one, of course, I have this one and that, and the one in here set a couple minutes ahead. Now I think this one got a little bit too slow somehow, because this one went off at the same time as the Seiko clock. But I tell you what, back to this for a moment while I wait for that clock to go off. We would be using this more if it wasn't for the extracurricular noise. And I don't think we're not going to be able to fix that. I don't think we're not fixing this anytime soon. But I'll go ahead and just plug the cordless phone back up. Now, I can't remember exactly if when my older sister, I had to pause the video because of my older sister. I can't remember if it was the third track of that or the fourth, but I just ran it up to the fourth one again, just in case. Now, music select button, it almost didn't want to work. And I thought it was dead for a second, but it worked. Anyways, in just a matter of moments, it will it will play. It will play. Now I do have it set to the where this clock and the other clock will play the same song, because I set it to right before I put the batteries in for the sound. I set it to 1250, and so yeah. If it could hurry up, because I think I just saw my mom go by. Probably dropping one of the kids off at my older sister's next door, which is the childhood house next door. I tell you what, the childhood house has not been the same ever since my older sister and them been living there. So yeah, it's just heartbreaking, but it is what it is. It ain't my problem anyway. Should be just a moment. This one somehow got a couple minutes behind to where I last had it set. And now you get an idea of what I'm talking about, how you know, the clocks get, I don't like setting the clocks at close to each other because they go off at the same time and it gets annoying. I know I got late on showing you this, but the sound on here, on this clock, is actually got a higher pitch than the one in the living room. But I am going to have to work on it. Well, that second hand, it's not catching now, but it was. It's probably just got a bad connection to the battery is probably why it's doing that. And this bird clock here, of course, I'm going to have to work on as well. I think the speaker on it is shot, or otherwise contacts need cleaning for the sound part. The clock itself still works, though. It's just the speaker that plays the birds. I don't know if it's bad or if I need to clean the contacts. By the way, there's one more thing I forgot to show, which, of course, is not working anymore. You see this Winnie the Pooh here. It's actually not working. I mean, I think the sound part still works, if I remember. But his head is actually, you see, messed up. And Piglet, actually, you see there, Piglet's actually supposed to come up and down from the hat, but that's broken too. And Pooh's head is supposed to move like that, but it had a problem. I'll show you what kind of... this is actually battery operated too, or it can take a 9-volt DC plug up to 600 milliamps. And I think the batteries, oh, that cover comes off easily. That's let's see. I think, yeah, that looks like 3C size. So this is useless, being that I think one of the kids must have messed it up. I don't know which one exactly, but I know it was one of them messing it up. Let me get the cover back on here. Hold on. Okay, I got the cover back on now. Just had to do it with 2 hands. Oh, hello. Hello. I did not mean to grab him by the head, but you see there, it's kind of, yeah, that's not good. His head's all messed up, as you see. It's actually broken. Now I know why his head won't move, because it's broken. And anyways, here's the instruction manual for the Wonderland Bear Band. I'll just show it off to you real quick. Yes, it's not a toy, so of course I think it's somewhere in here it tells you not to leave the plug up when not in use, but here's the overlay of it. It did come with a plug, which of course, it should. Make sure AC adapter is plugged into a working 120 volt outlet and all that. You can read all this. Indoor use only. Plant. I think I know why it's making an extracurricular noise. Probably all the humidity in the shed must have messed it up. That because we do put the stuff, Christmas stuff, up in our shed. You can just read all that. Pause and read it. And then this is the last page. And of course it's got some kind of stain right here. Alright everybody, well that's pretty much going to be it for this video. And this is the last time I'm going to be recording this video, as my mom's talking in the background there, but you see there, I'm just trying to show these off on video one last time before we take them down. I know this video is very long than the outdoor video. I really apologize about that. So, anyways, yep, she's talking to the cat in there. So, now I know these are not making clunking noises now, but if they've been running for a couple hours, they will. So, anyways, I'm going to jump off here now, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure y'all hit like, subscribe, comment down below what you think, and tap the bell so that way you'll know every video is posted. We'll see you next time.